Hello everybody, I'm Origosis, and today we're going to review the first 6 episodes of Recovery of an MMO Junkie. Should I have a swishy part there? Or just get right into it? Okay, so originally I was going to watch just the first episode and then do a bit of a first impression review. Then, it finished up and I kind of liked it. Wasn't that great, just, kind of enjoyed it. It's like, let me watch the second one, then I'll review the first episode. Because I wasn't sure if it was going to go the way I wanted it to go, thought it would go. I shouldn't say wanted it to go, but, then I don't know. It just didn't feel like it was going to click. Anyways, I watched the second episode, and that one almost fell flat for me. It had some saving grace. It did. And I'm like, all right, let me do the 3-episode rule. So I watched the third episode, which, while still having a small bit of saving grace near the end and the middle and stuff, it was still just like, oh, that one was even worse. Not to say any of these 3 episodes are bad, just it wasn't doing it for me. It just wasn't. So the first one was like, okay, but I'm not sure about this. And 2 and 3 made me less and less sure. And the reason I started watching this was not just because I wanted to pick one to start with to review, but also because a friend had highly recommended it to me. He just said, I think you'd really like this. You should check it out. And he's been bugging me to watch it, I think, ever since the first episode premiered. So whenever that was, September, October, November, I don't remember exactly when the fall season started. But, so sometimes then, September 2017, October 2017. So somewhere back then when the first episode premiered. He's like, you got to check this out. And every 2 episodes, every other episode, he'd message me, dude, you got to check this out. And so finally, winter 2018 season is starting. I'm watching a few of those. And he's like, did you watch Recovery of an MMO Junkie yet? I'm like, no. Like, well, it's all up. Every episode's up, and Funimation has every episode dubbed. So I finally started watching it this evening, and I'm very happy I did. Very happy. While the first 3 episodes weren't exactly my thing, it was good setup to get into 4, 5, and 6, which were definitely my thing. Right up my alley. And I don't know where the next few episodes are going to go. I want to say this is only a 11, 12 episode anime. It could be 10. I really don't know how many more episodes are left. I believe it's within the 10 to 12 range. I'm very curious to see where it goes because of how different, how much further each episode has gotten away from what it was at episode 1. And I can see how it could turn right back to what episode 1 had, with being more focused on the MMO and things like that. By the way, if I would call this review just almost no spoilers whatsoever. I'll spoil some basic concepts about the anime, but nothing beyond that. So spoiling concepts and a few basics is spoiler for you, then yeah, this is spoiler territory. Come back and watch it after you've watched the first 6 episodes, and, let's see if we agree and disagree on things. Anyways, a lot of the MMO stuff focuses on what a lot of MMO animes tend to focus on, which is the whole appearance thing, sit around, chillax, relax, enjoy the MMO like it's a real life, like it's an alternative life, which is not how I play MMOs. Very few people I know play MMOs like that, and so it's very foreign to me. I don't know if it's a Japanese thing. I don't know if it's just the people who... Maybe I'm the minority when it comes to an MMO player. I enjoy some of that hanging out to an extent, but for the most part, me hanging out is chit-chatting with friends while we're raiding, while we're dungeoning, while we're questing, while we're leveling up a new character. Very, very little goes into the actual, building. This anime focuses on a lot of that kind of stuff. They even have an episode centered around loot boxes, and not to get into that whole drama, but a whole episode centered around loot boxes and getting stuff like that. So that stuff didn't play very well with me at all. So I can't relate to that at all. That's not how I play MMOs, and not how I know anyone in real life that plays them. So that's probably why episodes 1 through 3 were such a departure for me. But 4, 5, and 6, I don't want to spoil what they become. It's not a big departure from 1, 2, and 3, but it's just enough that it really does it for me. And even with that, I was still like, okay, this is nice. I like this. This is okay. I'll watch another episode, and the next one would end, and the next one would end, and six did it for me. 6 locked me in. I'm here to the end. I'm going to finish it, for better or worse. If it gets better, if it stays the same, awesome. If it gets worse, well, darn. But episode 6 won me over. I didn't waste 5 episodes only for episode 6 to win me over. No, it was entertaining. It was. But, yeah, it's interesting. It really drew me in. And I don't want to say, like, what happens, what goes on to really draw me in. But, yes, I enjoyed it. And I do recommend checking it out. If you're the kind of MMO player who is like into getting extra mounts and extra armor sets and redecorating them and all that jazz. Now that I think about it, a lot of people are into that. Then yes, you will better relate to the MMO in this anime than I did. If you can better relate to the way... Nope. You know what? Come to think of it, I can't think of any anime that has ever covered an MMO more like the way I play it. Not even Sword Art. No, Sword Art is completely different because they're stuck in there, so they kind of have to live it like that. That's different. Okay, forget I said that. Yeah, no, check it out. It's interesting. If the first 3 episodes don't do it for you, the next 3 just might. If the first 3 episodes do it for you, then I think you'll enjoy the next 3 even more. I do also want to do these reviews with a little bit of a rating on animation quality, and by that I mean drawing of movements, the actual motion, not just the still picture moments. That I'm going to call style. So animation, style, audio, and intro. By the way, I tend to only watch dubbed. I don't care about the whole dubbed versus subbed thing. I'm just lazy. I prefer to watch dubbed, so I don't have to read text. But with that said, I do watch plenty of subbed animes. But just so you're aware, I prefer to watch dubbed out of pure laziness. And I don't have the ear to rarely ever tell the difference between good acting and bad acting. I can tell really bad acting. I can tell really good acting. But everything in between, I don't really see the difference. So for me, dubbed works great. I will say that emotional moments do tend to come over much better in the original Japanese. They do the crying much better. They do the anger and the pain much better. I do agree with that aspect. But for the day-to-day, what 90% of the anime is I don't see a huge difference between subbed and dubbed. So dubbed is fine for me. Okay, so anyways, animation quality, the motion, the movement, subpar. Take your average anime that you've seen 100 times. This quality is just a tad below that. Not bad, just a notch. You take it, you bring it down a notch. That's about where this animation stands. Passable. It's fine. The style is another step. It's hard to say style is subpar. It's hard to say style is above. Style can be a preference. Compare World of Warcraft to EverQuest 2 when those two games came out. World of Warcraft was designed to look like a cartoon, and EverQuest 2 is meant to look realistic. Well, which one had the most realistic human-like graphics? Don't take that too far. I know they both are video games, old, yada yada. EverQuest 2. That had realistic looking graphics, at the time. It was like, whoa, they're really doing the human features here, yada, 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 all that jazz. But which one stood the test of time? World of Warcraft, most would argue, at least I would argue. That stood the test of time, that stylized look. This isn't so stylized as that. It's just when I initially saw it, I was just like, the quality looks It looks meh. But by episode 3, by episode 4, that style had grown on me. Those characters were that style. It wasn't just like, oh, this is a subpar style. No, it was, those characters are that style. Are there still moments and times when it's all like, oh, no, that doesn't quite look right? Yes, it is. The style feels a little bit lazy. It does feel like a lazy style, and there are points in the show where it's just like, oh, well. But for the most part, it looks good. I like the way it looks. I enjoy the style to it. It went from this, this feels like a couple notches below par to, no, this is okay. This is okay. Would I call it subpar? I would. I'd rate it average, because the style grew on me. But if I had to be objective about it, and it's so hard to be objective about style, I'd call it just a notch below par. Just a notch below. If you want to give a number to it, 5 is normal. 5 is perfectly good and acceptable out of 10. Don't think video game reviews where 7 is bad. I'm going to start a riot there. 5 is good. 5 is good. Solid. This is a 4.5. This is a 4.5 if I had to give it a number. Sound seems good. Nothing stuck out. I'm not remembering any music, but when the music kicks in, it's like, oh yes, it's this tune, it's that tune. It's got its happy tune, its sad tune, it's this tune. It kicks in, I remember it. It's just not memorable after it's over. The song's gone. It's like, hey, what song was just on 5 seconds ago? I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. Maybe that'll change in the next few episodes. But as of episode 6, not really. The opening, though. The opening is definitely above average. I'd call it a 7. We'd say a 7. Not necessarily because any one bit of it is all so amazing. No, the music kicks in and it's memorable. By like the third time you hear it, you're like, yeah, all right, we're getting into the anime. The song is good. I like this. I know what's coming. I'm ready for more, which is what I think an anime intro should do, or unless it's supposed to deliver another message. But for the most part, it's supposed to deliver that, yeah, here we go. The show is starting. I waited a week for this. In we go. That's what the anime opening does. It has that nice build up, that nice little drop, and then it kicks into high gear. It works really well. The imagery just feels deeper and deeper every time I watch it. It's not that deep, but I mean, it feels like, oh, yeah, no, that I like that. I like that. Not too spoilery, by the way. Does it spoil characters who are in there? Yes, but in a sense, it doesn't spoil them at all, because it's not the kind of anime where you don't know which characters are going to become a part of the main story. It's not like that. The characters who are part of the main story are there halfway through episode 2. That's it. It's all there. And so that doesn't spoil anything at all. Unless there's something I'm not aware of that it's spoiling until the end of the anime, which I guess it's not spoiling it since I don't know it's spoiling it. Which, is hard to say. So I'll reassess how spoilery the opening is, because that's kind of important to me. There are so many animes where you don't know who's going to join the team. I mean, you can guess. You don't know who's going to join the team, who's going to be the main flow, what's going to happen with certain characters, what abilities they're going to get, what things they're going to get into. And the opening shows, like the first 8 episodes of a 12-episode anime, it's just like, oh, there's the 7 people who are going to be on the main team, and that guy's got that suit, that woman's got that thing, that one's crying over that because someone died or something happened, and it just ruins a lot of the overarching plot to the anime sometimes. This one does not do that. So not only is the music nice, really fitting, really catchy, for the opening, again, not the normal music, just the opening music. Not only is the art and style for the opening just nice and good visuals, it also doesn't spoil anything. It's just a solid anime intro. One of the most solid anime intros I have seen in a long time. Though I can't draw any direct comparisons right now because I have such a short, horrible memory when it comes to drawing specifics. I can just tell you in broad terms, I know that I haven't seen anything this wonderful in quite a while. So that I liked. That's a solid 7 out of 10, maybe a 7.5. It could go up as I get more used to the music by the end of the anime. Could stay where it is, could go down as I better assess how the opening is. But for the halfway point in the anime, 7 out of 10, loving the opening. And remember, I don't think 5 out of 10 is a bad score. 5 out of 10 is a solid score to me. So please keep that in mind. And if for some reason you hear 5 out of 10 and you think bad, well, maybe I'll stop using scores altogether. Anyways, yes, thank you for watching. I don't think I introduced myself at the beginning. I'm Origosis. I was thinking of calling this this anime reviewing thing I'm doing Otaku Gosis or Oritaku or something like that. I have no idea. But I am Origosis. This channel is Origosis. This is my review of the first 6 episodes of Recovery of an MMO Junkie. I do recommend you check it out. You might find it hard to push through episodes 1 through 3. But I think if you don't make it through episode 6 and are pretty excited to see episode 7, which I am about to watch as soon as I turn off this record button and start copying this up and then editing it and everything. But I'm going to watch it while I'm waiting for that to copy up. I'm going to watch episode 7 right now. And I do recommend you go and check this out. It is on Crunchyroll and Funimation. I don't know where else it's available or how to check how else it's available. Well, I'm going to learn those things as I go. So yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed this and you want to see more. Upvote it, because I think that's a thing. Yeah, I know I sound like some old man, right? Like, yeah, upvote, right? You got to upvote? Oh, it's not even called an upvote. I'm thinking of Reddit. The thumbs up, the one that looks like this. But if you didn't, there's the one that looks like that. And again, thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Toodaloo.